All right, we got something new here on the channel. This is not an e-bike. This is an e-trike or a tricycle. So obviously, bicycle's 2 wheels. This is a tricycle, it has 3 wheels. And this one here is called the MOONCOOL TK1. Comes in this actually pretty nice gray pastel matte color. I kind of like this one. It does come in like orange and like mint green, I think, or maybe a pink. Check out the link in the description for the other colors. But yeah, this thing is mainly meant for hauling stuff. So as you can see, we got a large basket in the back here between the 2 rear wheels, and then another huge basket in the front. I'll put up the loading capacity here up on the screen. I think this is going to be mainly going to be for hauling stuff around and like streets and stuff, like level surfaces, because the motor in here is only 500 watts. So it's here in the back. Burst to 750 watts, and it's a 48 volt system. We got a 48 volt, 14.5 amp hour battery. Range is going to be something like 35 up to 60 miles, depending upon your riding conditions. It's got a maximum speed of 16 miles an hour, which I think is appropriate for this because I did test ride this for a little bit, and I've never ridden a trike like this before, and it was a little strange. Do have to kind of shift your weight around because I think it does feel a little bit feels like you might tip over, but I'm not sure if that's actually the case or not. You think it'd be more stable, but it feels strange. Now, I'll talk about more of that when I'm riding around. But I would recommend sticking to level surfaces. If you're on a hill or something and this tips over, it's very heavy. It's like 115 pounds. So it's it's going to take quite a bit of strength to make it upright again. But these come with 20 by 3-inch wheels, so they do come with the knobby tires, as you can see here. But yeah, a little bit better, I guess, efficiency on the less wide tire. Got 180 millimeter rotors here. The front wheel is removable, and the bike does fold down. I'm not sure how useful it is to fold this in half. It does save a little bit of space, but not a ton. I think reducing the height here of the handlebar is probably more useful if we're getting into a car, for example. So that's helpful. You can adjust the height of the handlebar on this mechanism here, and then you can fold it down on that lever right there. But yeah, I'm showing you some footage here of putting it together. It does come with a ton of I guess foam and zip ties to protect it and shipping. There wasn't any damage per se, but there was a few spots you can see right here where the paint got scraped off, where something was obviously rubbing on it when it was shipping. Yeah, perhaps they could have used a little bit thicker foam in certain spots and maybe not as much foam in other places. Yeah, it seemed like it was overkill, but it arrived safely. Everything seems to be working. But yeah, as I said, yeah, the front wheel is removable. You can fold it down, but I'm not sure how useful it is. But yeah, do have a hydraulic disc brake here and the front and in the rear. Just a quick look at the handlebar here. So you got your ergonomic grip, brake levers. These do have a locking mechanism here. So because there's no kickstand, you don't want this rolling away. You can actually lock the brakes, a parking brake with this here. And you can see this is a hydraulic brake. Got your bike computer here. This one does come with turn signals. See here, extra horn. Comes with a huge front headlight. Here's a look at it from the back. See the very wide and deep basket. Got your tail lights here in the back, and they actually act as these will turn on when you turn on the headlight, as well as the tail light here in the back as well. And those are the turn signals. Reflector here, and you just have a disc here in the back for braking, and right there behind. So there's the hub motor, and then over here is what's I guess they call it an open differential. It allows the individual wheels, the right and left wheel, to spin at different speeds, which obviously you're going to need because when you're turning, the outer wheel is going to be spinning a lot faster than the inner wheel. So that's what that's for. Overall, the cable management is really good, very clean here, and they try to put stuff here in turn on the frame. So there's a little bit here kind of hidden underneath. So overall, pretty nice. The welding, decent. It's not the worst, it's not the best. I would say pretty average, but doable. And as I mentioned before, in terms of putting the bike together, all I had to do was stick the handlebar into the stem here, and then attach the front wheel, and then attach this front basket system. So you have the front rack here, and then this basket attaches to the rack, and then you have to attach the light to the front rack or the front basket. Anyway, I think it's going to be pretty interesting. And the ride test, we'll do a speed test. I don't think, obviously, it's not going to go very fast, up to 15, 16 miles an hour. But I'll give you my thoughts as we're riding around. And I can already tell that it's going to be pretty comfortable. The seat here is very nice and wide and large. So it should be a comfortable ride with 3 wheels and a nice seat there. So it's going to be good for cruising and hauling stuff around. So let's go ahead and do the ride test now. Okay, we'll start off the pedal assist speed test in level 1. I think this one only says 5 levels of pedal assist, so 0 won't give you anything. Starts off in 1, and I think this has a cadence sensor, and yeah, it takes about a half turn of the crank to have the cadence sensor turn the motor on. And this only has 1 speed, so there's no gears. So it does take a little bit of effort to get it moving. And if you have like a lot of cargo on this, if this weighs a lot, it might be a little bit harder to get it going. So just something to be aware of, because there are no gears. But about 7.5, 7.4 on the bike computer, and 7 miles on the GPS in level 1. All right, switch this to level 2. See if we give any more speed. A little bit. 9 on the GPS, 9.3 on the bike computer, 9.2. Let's go to level 3. 11 on the GPS. And I am starting to feel like it's freewheeling a little bit. Not a lot, but just a little bit. All right, let's go to level 4. Yeah, definitely freewheeling now. So I'm not really putting any effort in. And just my motions on the cadence sensors turning the motor on, and we're giving 13.1 on the bike computer, a 12 on the GPS speedometer. All right, let's go to level 5. Should give the max speed now. Yeah, freewheeling for sure. It says 15.5 on the bike computer, and is bouncing between 14 and 15 on the GPS speedometer. All right, so just doing the throttle only test. Doesn't matter what pedal assist level you're on, you'll get the max speed, and it's going to jump right up to that 15 mile an hour limit. Yep. So doesn't matter what pedal assist level you're in, you get the max speed. All right, so let's talk about how this trike rides. And very different from a bike. I think the thing you're going to notice the most is when you go into turns. You know, when you ride a bike, you kind of lean into the turn, and this is totally different because you don't need to do that. Kind of lean almost in the opposite direction. So I'm going to turn left here, and then you feel like the bike's going to fall over to the right. So you lean over to the left to sort of compensate. I feel like if I leaned into the turn to the right, I almost feel like I would tip over. So yeah, it's a little counterintuitive, but you get used to it. Of course, this is from the perspective of a first-time trike rider. I've never had one of these before. So if you've never had one, I guess you'll have a little bit of an idea from a beginner's perspective. Now let's go ahead. I'll turn around here. So I'm going to turn right, and I'm going to lean to the right over here like this. Yeah, so you get used to it. It's not that bad. It's just when you have 3 wheels, it's pretty hard to tip over unless you're on like a hill or something, but you feel like you're going to tip over because, of course, you know, your center of gravity is a little higher because you're sitting on top of the bike. So just something to be aware of. But otherwise, this feels like another electric bike, just the balance is a little bit different. It still feels very stable. I'm not really sure why they limited the speed to 15 miles an hour. It seems like it could definitely go faster, but no rattles or anything like that. There's a little bit of cogging in the gearing down below where the chain is. Possibly it could be a little bit tighter. Not sure what's causing that. And if I bump up the pedal assist level, yeah, that's still there. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the chain or rubbing against the gears or what it is exactly. But you can also just ride this with throttle only, and you don't have to go full speed. You can twist the throttle part of the way and get partial speed. So I'm just taking it easy here, going a pretty modest 10 miles an hour. You know, if you're hauling around a lot of cargo, you obviously don't want to be whipping the bike around and have your stuff fall out. So I think the motor should be fine. You know, it's kind of surprising if this is a cargo hauler. The motor should, you'd think it should come with more power, especially for hills, but it seems to carry my weight no problem. Like, you know, maybe that's why they limited the max speed so that you have the most amount of range. Not 100% sure the thinking behind that. You know, most people know that if they go slower, you can get more range. But yeah, I think maybe because they're intending this to be a cargo hauler, you're going to be probably wanting to ride slower anyway. But the motor does seem like it has more power than it's rated for. It's hard to explain. I've ridden on some other ones, other e-bikes with the same motor power, but this one feels like it has more, and especially because this is a heavier, heavier machine. It just feels like it has more power available to it. So it's possible it could be because of the gearing in the back there, because it is the motor is tied to some gears there, and that's what's driving the rear wheels. So it could be an effect of that, perhaps. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I'm thinking. But overall, the seat's very comfortable, even though there's no rear suspension. You get 2 tires back there, so you really don't feel hardly anything in the road at all. It feels like any bumps are just absorbed by the 2 tires back there. And then you have a front suspension, which again works, decently fine. So can't complain about that. But overall, the build quality seems good. Not a lot of rattles. Other than that, the cogging I'm hearing from the chain, don't hear any rattles from the fenders or any other part of the bike. So seems like out of the box it's been built well. Build quality is good. Obviously, I'll have to ride this quite a bit more over a lot more bumps and stuff to see what comes loose. But obviously, a lot of these things, you just bring your wrench out, tighten up some bolts, and it's back to brand new again. So, it's not a big deal. Anyway, let me know if you guys want to see more content on this or at other trikes in the future. This is kind of new and different. Not sure if this is necessarily up anyone's alley, but I thought I'd take a look at this, and I am interested in these kind of newer electronic vehicles, EVs, for personal use. So anyway, it's going to do it for this one. The link will be in the video description if you want to check it out. Talk to you guys in the next video.